I tell you, I've got to echo what the officer said. I've got to give a tremendous amount of credit to Officer Murray. He has given us as much information as he possibly could along the entire process. We've known that the arrest was coming, it was imminent. He was very comfortable with the evidence he had to put the truck at the scene. He was doing everything he could do to place the driver in the truck. And as the officer said, I just got to give him a tremendous amount of kudos for everything he did. I've also got to give credit to the community. We've had an outpouring of support like I've never witnessed before. People we don't even know who were coming forward and providing words of encouragement, thoughts of encouragement, and trying to provide tips to the police department. I want to also give credit to Scripps. The doctors there have just been amazing. The care she's gotten, and this absolutely never happens, but we got a donation to her GoFundMe from one of the nurses in the ICU ward. She took such a good care of Ashley, so that it touched our hearts. And then the other thing I've got to say is where she worked, Lazy Acres, which is owned by Bristol Farms. I got an email yesterday from their head of human resources, and I think it's been pretty well known that Ashley was between health insurance coverages. Bristol Farms stepped up last night, and they're going to provide her health insurance from the accident and going forward. They're going to cover that, and I tell you, that's something that's never done by a large company. I can't say enough good about them. As far as to answer your question now, sorry, on my reaction to this, it's, if you have children, you go through a host of emotions in an event like this. This is something I've never experienced, but while your main concern is your family member, your daughter laying there on intubation, in the first few days not knowing whether she's going to live or die, you're wondering who could have done this kind of thing. And you think about it and you say, when and if they do finally catch this individual, what type of person will he be? And the more facts I learn, the more astounded. The only word I can use to describe it is narcissist. Living your entire life feel like you're above the law and you are just totally untouchable. I was informed that one of the comments he made while he was booked is, make sure you get my good side in the photo so that the press gets it. Another comment they made when the search warrant was served on their house was, can you speed this along? We need to get to Disneyland with our kids. Well, our daughter, is lying in a coma in a hospital bed. It astounds me how anyone could possibly go through those 2-week period of time and lay their head on a pillow at night and sleep, knowing that they had put someone in this condition in a hospital. He has to have seen the news reports. The press, you all have been amazing at keeping this in the public eye and amazing at keeping this high visibility. And I'm sure all this combination of everything is what brought this to this fruition.
And yet you said your daughter made a really amazing statement about him being frustrated.
We have an individual sales rep that calls on us all the time at our store. We have European Bath in Solana Beach. He was one day leaving the store and he saw a white Ford pickup truck, and he felt the numbers on the license plate matched perfectly. So he followed him, and he followed him to a location, which was the Shell station in Leucadia and 5. And they saw him, got out of the truck, they called the police, and the police came, and they made the determination it wasn't the vehicle. But she heard us on the phone, it was on speaker, and he was saying that he got out of the car with his wife and his daughter, and Ashley, as incoherent as she is, said, if he has a daughter, I don't want him prosecuted. Don't do anything to him. Let him go. Her first words when she woke up, she whispered, I'm sorry for causing all this trouble. it breaks your heart.
And you said her long-term prognosis is still very unknown.
Oh, it's still very uncertain. We don't know how much of her life is going to be impacted from now on. She did move her left toe the other day a little bit, which is huge. Because she hasn't really. She said it's like this arm over here is not there. I'm trying to pull this arm over and put it in her hands so she can feel it's there, and that's what the physical therapists are doing. They're trying to say, Ashley, touch your arm, look at it, it's there. You just have to, your mind has to figure out where it is. And the stroke, they say it's very common that it causes that, so we just don't know at this point. We don't know.
Knowing that this guy said to a witness, I don't think it's necessary to call 911 when your daughter is near death on the road. As a father, how do you even process it?
You know, the only thing I can say to him, because it's all over his Facebook if you look at it, and his wife's Facebook, they love talking about what they have and who they are. They're very public. There's a picture of him standing in the back of the pickup truck that he hit Ashley with. It was a Christmas present from her. There's a picture of him with his daughter on Father's Day, and the comment that his wife, I guess, put on the Facebook was, "You're such a wonderful father for our family. You always encourage us and teach us how to be respectable individuals and do the right thing." I would ask him, put yourself in my position where I am right now. And if this were your daughter laying there and someone had committed this heinous act, how would you feel? How would you feel?
Are you worried that he could get out of this easier because of his finances?
I have no doubt. That's unfortunately the world in which we do live. I hope he spends some time in jail. I hope at one point I can hear him have some degree of remorse. I would even have a little bit more respect for him if he would have just the next day said, "Oh my God, I was inebriated, I was drunk, but I did this. I want to turn myself in and make this right." But to consciously take your car and hide it 100 miles away and have it repaired, and for his family, they knew exactly what was going on from the reports I've had, to help him hide it and to help him hide for 2 weeks, and for him to not turn himself in, knowing full well he's been told he will be arrested. He's known that for a week. And yet he waited till the last minute when the sheriff's department said, "We're on our way to arrest you." And that's when his attorney said, "Okay, we'll come in." He had no choice at that point. So this is an individual that has no conscience, no remorse, and I don't know how he lives with himself. I really don't. It will be interesting to see what his employer says about the individual that he is.
Susie, you mentioned that Parker obviously comes from attorney background with his father, and you said something to me earlier about knowing that your dad works in this line of work. You should, of all people, should have known what you should have done. You could see it.
He was raised by a personal injury attorney, a very well-known one here in this town. So he was raised around the knowledge of what happens to families that have their lives changed in an instant, and it still was disregarded, and he was still more important than the next person.
What are your feelings towards his wife? Because you said that you noticed on their Facebook that life looked like it was back to normal, when in fact here you guys are visiting hours and hours every day, dedicating your lives.
I just have no words. I just have no words. I don't think there's words to describe that. People can make their own judgments.
Yeah, as of yesterday morning, she was posting how to make oatmeal and what a good meal it is to have for breakfast. Her birthday was the 27th on her Facebook, and they celebrated. Life went on for them. It changed for us.
And now he's out on bail, a free man, while your daughter is suffering.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
As I said, I
What do you want to say to him personally?
I just want to say someday, karma's a bitch. Someday it will bite him. And someday he will get his dues. Maybe not this week, this month, this year. It will happen. It will happen. And I from what I've come to understand about hit and run accidents in this area, it's become an epidemic. And they say DUIs are down because of the advent of Lyft and Uber and everything like that, but hit and runs are up. There's just been 4 in this last month alone, and the police are unable rarely to catch it because it's such a hard crime to prove. We're blessed that we've gotten this result and we've catched, but there are hundreds and hundreds of hit and run accidents across this country that have not been as lucky as we are, and my heart goes out to all those people. They don't have closure like we got. So I guess just to say that I wish they all get good closure like we have, at least on this. I don't know what the end result will be. Whatever they do to him, it's not going to help our daughter get better, but it will bring a sense of relief to our family, our friends, our neighborhood. Leucadia is a very close-knit community, and the neighbors have just been up in arms about this. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Do you